All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here, and welcome back to another Injustice 3 video. So, it's been a while since there's been any sort of quote unquote leaks that are worth talking about because there's always something that comes up. There's always like, hey, my uncle's a janitor at NetherRealm Studios, and the security guard told him to tell me that his friend knows about another employee that said that they're working on Mortal Kombat 13, right? There's always like those little leaks that come out. No need to pay attention to them. But what happened yesterday is definitely something that is eye catching. And as someone who covers NetherRealm games, I got to cover some of these, potential leaks. Of course, nothing is guaranteed until NetherRealm officially announces their game. And I've been guilty of this, and I apologize, but I have gotten my hopes up and your hopes up in the past. So I'm just covering this as, sort of news because it's actually something worth covering. But there was an artist, or let's just go to the actual article here. Anyway, leave a like on the video if you guys are excited for Injustice 3 if it actually happens. So this website right here, MP First, were the first ones to break this story. I don't know how they found this, but I'm not gonna go through all like everything written. Pretty much, this screenshot right here is the quote unquote leak. So this screenshot is a screenshot of a Warner Brothers artist. I think it's their resume, Warner Brothers artist resume. And at the bottom, by the way, they did blur out their name and all their information so they won't get outed as the person who potentially first leaked Injustice 3. So I guess shout out to the website for not outing this person. But if you guys see at the bottom where the video games are cataloged and video games that they've worked on, it says Hogwarts Legacy 2, which I think that has been announced that it's in development for a while, right? And then it says Injustice 3, and both of them says to be determined as far as dates when they released. And then it says 2 unannounced projects. Now, what first confused me about this is this artist must not have been working for NetherRealm Studios for a cool minute already, because there's no way, if he is currently working on art for Injustice 3 in NetherRealm Studios, there's no way that this person doesn't know that the game hasn't even been announced yet. So that threw me off, because I'm like, okay, so it's a random Wednesday. There hasn't been any signs that there's going to be an Injustice 3 other than last year when there was some voice actors who said that they're Injustice 3, like we've been working on, or I've been working on lines that Injustice 3 is coming. They're making a new one. I think Phil Lamar said that actually, which was shocking to me because he's like the ultimate professional. So it would be shocking to me that he would even bring that up. But last year that happened, and that was the most significant sign that there was going to be an Injustice 3, right? And then after that, there's been like nothing. So randomly on a Wednesday, this article comes up and they blur out everything, which, obviously I understand why. But they highlight this, artist's resume, saying that they worked on Hogwarts Legacy 2, Injustice 3, and then 2 unannounced projects. Like, to me, it would make sense for that artist to write Hogwarts Legacy 2 because it has already been confirmed it's being in development, but then Injustice 3 would have been in the unannounced projects. That's like my thinking, but the only way that I feel this is true is if this artist has not been working for NetherRealm Studios for quite some time and they just don't keep up with the video games. So then they're like, oh, maybe a lot of time has passed since I worked on this game. Maybe Injustice 3 has been announced as far as like that's what they're working on. Who knows? But that really threw me off. So I wasn't even gonna like talk about this, mostly because of that. I'm like, there's no way that person doesn't know that Injustice 3 and NetherRealm's next project has not even been announced. As far as like them even by name announce it, that they're working on it. They announced that they stopped future DLC content and support for MK1. This happened like last year in May, I think. Like, it's been a while. They did say that they were going to stop the support on MK1 to work on their next game, but they never mentioned the game by name, right? So that kind of threw me off. But, you know, as someone who covers NetherRealm Studios games, you know, I kind of have to cover this because if this is legit, this is the biggest sign and the most significant sign in a long time that Injustice 3 is going to be the next NetherRealm Studios project. And as a Mortal Kombat fan, especially, you know, just thinking business-wise and also thinking because of all the hype that the Mortal Kombat 2 movie has been getting, that it would make sense for them to want to cross-promote that, you know, get that new audience that's going to watch the MK2 movie to buy their next Mortal Kombat game if, you know, they end up releasing it at some point soonish, right? But it seems like, you know, if this ends up actually coming true and we get Injustice 3, that's just going to be, you know, the next game that we have for the next 2, 3 years, 4 years. Who knows how long they would take to make another game. And before all the hype for MK2, you know, myself and a lot of you guys were kind of expecting Injustice 3 or DCKO or something like that, which is like a comic book series that takes like DC characters and characters from other franchises that belong to Warner Brothers and just kind of like makes them fight in like a tournament style. So that would have been a sick game, by the way. I made a video on that one. But we kind of expected something like that to happen and for NetherRealm to sort of take a little break from Mortal Kombat because they put out 2 Mortal Kombat games in a row, which never happened before. So yeah, if Injustice 3 is actually the next game, of course, I'm going to be very happy. I just want another NetherRealm game. As much as I love the gameplay for MK1, it's always fun to have something new to play and something new for, you know, the audience and stuff to want to play, something new for you guys to play. And I really hope that they learn from the dislikes of Injustice 1 and Injustice 2, because those 2 games are, or Injustice 2 is a legacy game, and that means that it just carried over everything from Injustice 1. I do not want Injustice 3 to just be a legacy game. Please, for the love of Lord Boone, you know, by this time it's too late. The gameplay is probably all done and everything, or like the concept of it. But I just want them to start fresh with the way they design the gameplay for this hypothetical Injustice 3, because the way Injustice 2 and Injustice 1 is, it is going to piss off a lot of people, and it's definitely not going to stay with the casual audience. So I really hope that they just do something completely different and make it closer to what a Mortal Kombat game is with DC characters. I mean, that's been their bread and butter, right? And even though, yeah, Injustice 2 is fun in many ways, Injustice 1 has some crazy shit. But a lot of people abandoned the 2 games because it comes down to the screen size. It comes down to a lot of zoning, a lot of keep away. So I really hope that they learn from that. One last thing that I want to mention before I let you guys go is that Injustice 3 has been leaked before, and it never happened. So I kind of wanted to show you guys this article here, because this came to mind when I saw this quote-unquote leak, right? So back in the day, there was a major hack into, what the hell is it called? Managed to crack the GFN app and was able to access over 18,000 titles in the GeForce Now internal library. So some hacker went in, got the names of 18,000 titles that are inside the library of the GFN app. And there was unannounced titles there. And one of them just happened to be Injustice 3. And, you know, if there's going to be, if Injustice 3 was listed in this, like, app that has 18,000 titles from, like, NVIDIA GeForce Now, that was, at the time, pretty solid evidence. Hey, they're working on Injustice 3. They even have a name for it. It says Gods Will Fall. This was in 2021. This article came out in September 14, 2021, which was like what 2 months before the Game Awards. So at that time we were like, oh, something's gonna get announced. Something's gonna get announced. Nothing got announced. Nothing got announced. And then 2022. Oh, surely 2022. Nothing got announced. And then in 2023, does Injustice 3 get announced? It does not. Mortal Kombat 1 gets announced in 2023. So this has happened before where it seems like there's a leak that's like, oh man, this seems like really, really hard proof that we're going to get Injustice 3. It's happened before and we never got it. So I'm not saying that this is fake or that this is not credible. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm not going to believe anything until NetherRealm actually comes out and says, this is our new game, or starts teasing something from like the Injustice X account or their Instagram account or something like that. If you guys remember, the first tease for MK1 came from the Mortal Kombat X account, or maybe it was the NetherRealm Studios one, where they had a grain of sand sort of blow up like a big bang, right? That was their first tease that, hey, we're making MK1 and we're going to reset everything. So until that happens, I'm not going to believe everything or anything. So, but I want to recover this because it's unavoidable. Like every major like gaming outlet is covering this. So I'm like, let me inform you guys and let me give you guys both sides of the coin. It might be true. It might not be true. We're not going to know until the game is actually officially announced. But this has been the first pretty much sort of, I don't want to say credible leak, but promising leak. I don't know what to like title it, but this has been the first time that something is worth covering since the voice actors that said that Injustice 3 is going to be a thing back last year. So yeah, that about does it, guys. That's the news that happened yesterday. I mean, to me, it's like if this actually comes true, I'm really excited. I'm just trying to keep my hopes down because I've like crushed my own dreams before. Because I really want another NetherRealm game. And yeah, I've gotten my hopes up way too many times. So I'll keep you guys updated. If there's any big, I guess, development, I'll keep you guys updated, of course. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.